Well, hello everybody out there, Internet Land. This is Chris from hhnlegacy.com with another exciting episode of Topher's Log. It has been a while since we've done a Topher's Log sitting down in the studio, aka my bedroom. But we got an announcement to talk about. We actually have a physical Halloween Horror Nights 32 announcement to talk about, which I'm going to talk about. But first, I want to get some house cleaning issues out of the way. For those that, I've had people that have followed me for a long time here on the YouTubes. I've been doing this a long time. This will be my 12th to 13th year, somewhere around there, I guess, doing Halloween Horror Nights content at hhnlegacy.com. The website went live in 2012, but I've been working on it, doing things on the internet for a couple years before that. But the website went live back there in 2012. It's been a long run. It's been a long run, a lot of ups and downs. For those who have recently followed me, the last year or so, I've been dealing with some mental health issues. I've been in therapy, dealing with some anxiety, depression, PTSD stuff. Not fun stuff. And I've tried to kind of pull back a little bit on some of my content. I've tried to reintroduce the in-park vlogs. Do a little bit more of that stuff, but I've kind of pulled back on the Horror Nights speculation content and things like that. I continued Into the Fog. The latest episode of Into the Fog for Terra Correntis is out on this channel now. It's been out for a while. If you have not watched that, I highly encourage you to do that. I think it's a fun episode. It talks all about Terra Correntis, the history, the mythology, the lore surrounding Terra Correntis, Terra Queen, all that stuff. All that fun, good stuff from the year 2005. My favorite Halloween Horror Nights event. Not necessarily my favorite houses for the year, but my favorite event overall. I'm going to continue Into the Fog. The next episode of Into the Fog is going to be about one Mr. Oddfellow. That will be coming soon, I hope. Got a couple things going on, so it might be a little bit longer to get that episode out there, but it's coming. I swear. I'm working on it as we speak. But anyway, so what I wanted to say is that I'm still dealing with stuff. I'm trying to kind of stay off of social media a lot, aside from just posting Halloween Horror Nights content and park content when I can. I'm trying to stay off the Twitter most. So I'm posting a lot more to my Instagram. Stuff does go to Twitter, or at least I'm trying to put stuff to Twitter, but I'm trying to stay off of Twitter as much as possible. So going to my Instagram, it's been a lot more fun that way because I can just post pictures. Don't really have to, do a whole lot there. But I'm trying to stay off social media. I'm trying to refrain from social media stuff because that does cause a lot of anxiety stuff and whatnot. So I'm trying to stay off of social media a lot more. Because of therapy, I'm trying to sort of not rebrand, but really sort of dig down deep and sort of figure out what I want this to be. And one of the things that I have tried to do over the course of HHL Legacy's lifespan is my approach to this stuff is I always come at it from a fan's perspective. And if I'm not having fun doing it, then there's no point in sort of continuing. And right now I'm still having fun talking and engaging about Halloween Horror Nights. But I'm starting to see where, maybe it's because I'm getting older. I just turned 41 years old. But I'm starting to see, a little bit, my eyes are opening up a little bit more to, the level of, the level of effort I'm putting into things that, and not getting the reward back for what I'm putting into it is kind of going away. There's so many people now who do Horror Nights content, theme park content, than there was way back even when I first started doing this. There's a lot more in terms of the competition for it, and I'm just kind of like, whatever. But we'll see how, we'll see what happens, going forward here. But I just don't know, how much longer I can do this with the effort and not sort of see any kind of return on it. Over the course of Age of Legacy, I mean, I don't make money off this. This is kind of, I do it for fun. Like I said, doing it a long time, and I've tried here and there to make money off my stuff, but it's just not there. So I think over the course of there was a period of time where I had a merch store. And I made about $50 off of it, so that's about how much money I've made off of Age of Legacy over these last 12 years. And there is a point where I'm getting a lot busier now, and things are starting to get in the way, and it is what it is. I just don't know how much longer I can do this and not get anything back from it. But for the time being, I'm not going anywhere. But my content will still be here and there, depending on if I have the time to do things. If I can't do a video, I'll do an article on the website. So you can go there and read my stuff. But I just happen to have the day off, so I am doing a video. Another thing I wanted to make mention of is, I'm not going to be at the parks probably for another week or two. I had another flare-up of diverticulitis, and it's just too darn hot out there in the parks right now. And as I recover from this flare-up, I don't want to go into the extreme heat of Florida and sort of re-aggravate the diverticulitis, as it were, in the short term. So I will not be doing stuff in the parks for a little bit because I don't want to have another flare-up. I'm trying to heal myself here for the moment. So that stuff will be a little bit short-lived. I've had a couple of people ask me about HHN at home. I know there's another one that's going on right now throughout the month of June. Simple answer is I wasn't invited to partake. So this time around, for whatever reason, I wasn't invited. So so I will not be putting out content for HHN Home, but if you want to donate to all your favorite charities, go ahead and do that. Do not hesitate. It is, of course, Pride Month and all that stuff, so if you would like to donate, so be it. I donated. I donated on my own a couple months ago, so it is what it is. But as far as the content for HHN Home goes, I was not asked to participate. So this time around, I did the last two. There's a couple playlists. I think I put them in one playlist. There's a playlist on this channel from all my past Horror Nights HHN at Home stuff. Starting back there in 2020, we did. I partook in two sort of celebrations, so I was not asked to participate. So I won't be participating. But go. You don't have to wait for HHN at Home to donate to your favorite charities and causes and things of that nature. Just do it on your own terms. You don't have to wait for a special time. Just do it. I think that's it. So let's talk about what you probably have clicked on this video for, the announcement that came the other day. The Last of Us, the video game, is coming to Halloween Horror Nights 32. Now, obviously, The Last of Us is a hot property right now because of the HBO series starring Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, of course, from the video game. The house, they are, the marketing and the push for this house is, they are really trying to push that it is based on the video game and not the HBO show. Even branding the key art with the PlayStation logo. So, they're trying to really push the fact that this is based on the video game and not the HBO show. But that kind of doesn't matter. I personally have never played The Last of Us video games, either one. I did see the show. I really enjoyed the show. But from what I am told, the video game and the show are actually very closely tied together. So you don't really kind of have to have played the video game and or watch the show. If you've done either or, you should be fine if you go into the house, because they are so closely tied together that it doesn't fucking matter. I like the show, but I'm just not as familiar with the video game as some people. the bringing this to the event kind of has the same feel as The Walking Dead for me. The show especially feels very much like The Walking Dead. It is, it is about a post-apocalyptic outbreak about this fungus that takes over human beings, and they sort of become like this hive, a sort of not a hive in a way, but they are at the will of this fungus that kind of infects the brain, and it turns them into these sort of flesh-eating or man-eating monsters, if you will. Not flesh-eating because they're not zombies. They're man-eating monsters that are just kind of being controlled by this fungus. And it kind of has this Walking Dead feel to me, which is fine if that is what you like. But I have to say that in terms of this, I am not as excited for this as probably half the country is. Half the people out there for this property to come to the event. Like I said, I like the show. I think the show is very well done. I like Pedro Pascal in the show, Bella Ramsey. I think the show is very good. But my excitement level for this is just not. I don't think it's where most people's excitement level are. I just don't have a connection to this as some people do, other than watching the show. I binged the show within the span of a couple days. And I kind of had no desire to go and play the video game. I missed it when it came out before. It was just it kind of flew by me, and I just didn't get a chance to play it. By the time the first one had flown by, the second one was already out there, so I was kind of behind, and I just fell by the wayside. So I don't have the connection that some people have with this property. It is what it is. People are going to love this coming to the event, which, it's a very good get for them to have, because it is a very, 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 in the news type of property, whether it's just the average Joe who saw the show on HBO or those who played the video game. And just because it's based on the video game doesn't mean that they're not going to feed off of that fan base that is only familiar with the show, because that's not going to matter. The video game or not, the show is going to sell this just as much as it is the Last of Us video game coming to the event. It's not going to affect it one way or the other. And people who are oh my god, I love the show, I love it. They're gonna see The Last of Us, and it's not going to matter that it's the video game. They might be a little confused when they go in there because design wise, it's going to be more video game-esque, I guess. So people might be confused who have only seen the show, but I don't really think it's going to matter in the long term. This is the first video game property that Universal has attempted. Halloween Horror Nights Orlando has attempted since 2013. Resident Evil Escape from Raccoon City was the last video game property. If we're talking, we're adapting the video game. It's the last. The last property was Resident Evil Escape from Raccoon City back there in 2013, which, both properties that Halloween Horror Nights Orlando has adapted have been met with mixed feelings. Silent Hill and Resident Evil. I liked Resident Evil more than Silent Hill. I liked the approach, this sort of, whether or not it worked is a different story altogether. But I give them kudos for attempting something a little bit different and trying to physically put you into the video game, where Silent Hill the year before was more kind of an adaptation, which I think, if I was a betting man, Last of Us will be more akin to Silent Hill in terms of the approach than Resident Evil Escape from Raccoon City. Resident Evil they tried to physically put you into a video game, and that is, of course, very apparent by the infamous pause scene in Resident Evil. That scene in the house where there was somebody paused the game, and the actors sort of paused in place. It's a very, very infamous scene. Whether people either liked it or hated it, I thought it was actually kind of cool to see something like that, where they really, 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 really tried to put you into the video game as opposed to just straight up adapting the video game. So I have to think that the Last of Us will be more akin to Silent Hill as opposed to Resident Evil Escape from Raccoon City. There is merch that dropped for this. I, of course, like I said, I'm not going to the parks right now, so I don't have a personal photo to show you. But here is a look from Universal's own website. The shirt is white. White is a very uncommon color to have at Halloween Horror Nights. I don't really dig the design of this shirt. I think this shirt looks a little cheap, but I like the fact they're keeping the video game aspect in there. So so there is that. But it is what it is. People are gonna eat this shit up. It doesn't matter what I think anyway. In the long term, this is a very, 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 very popular property to have. In fact, all the IPs this year I think are very good, strong properties to have at the event. That's just my opinion. But like I said, I'm excited for it, but I just don't have the level of attachment to this property that some people have for it. So, but I am curious to see what they do, because I would like to know if it's going to be more Resident Evil or more Silent Hill, where it's more of a adaptation of the game as opposed to trying to put you into the game. That's kind of where my intrigue lies for this property. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start building my hype list for this year. I know we only got 2 properties announced, but screw it. It's my video. I'm going to do what I want. So right now, coming in at number 1 is going to be Chucky. I am still looking forward to Chucky more than coming in at number 2, The Last of Us. I don't think The Last of Us is going to end up at the bottom. I have a feeling when all is said and done, The Last of Us is going to end up somewhere in the middle, probably more towards the top, but somewhere in the middle, I think, is where it's ultimately going to end up. But I'm just looking, I have more of an attachment to Chucky. I like the series. I like the movies more. I just have more of an attachment to Chucky, and I like Chucky, and, I don't care. So I'm more looking forward to Chucky right now than The Last of Us. But yeah, so that, I think, is going to do it for this episode of Topher's Log. It feels good to be back a little bit in the studio, just doing an old school sit down, what I used to call my talking head long ago. I will probably only do these when we have announcements, and even then, you probably won't get one on the day of an announcement. It depends. Depends on how busy I am, how I feel. Like I said, right now I'm kind of battling this diverticulitis flare-up. It's kind of on the scale end, about a week into it. I'm not in as much pain as I was, so that's good. I did have to go to the hospital. There's a whole fiasco that took place there where they thought I was having a heart attack, and they pulled out the paddles at one point. It was a big thing. Was not having a heart attack, but do not recommend that. Maybe one day I'll reveal that on social media what actually happened. It was quite the ordeal. But yeah. So again, I just want to appreciate everybody who has followed me, and has stuck with me these last 10, 11, 12 years, however long I've been doing it. I can't remember anymore at this point. But thank you again. And I'm not going. I have no plans to go anywhere. I think therapy has sort of helped me open my mind to things a little bit about what I want. How I want to present myself. Because I think that I put out a lot more content than I think most people do. Most sort of Horror Nights updaters and things like that. I try to put out as much as I can. I try to keep things as active as possible. But especially with Twitter, my engagement on Twitter is just so far down than what it used to be. I'm not seeing a whole lot of my followers' content anymore. I have to physically search, and when I go through things and it's like I have to go through all this garbage to get there. There's a lot of ads now on Twitter, and I just don't I don't know. I've fallen out of respect and love for Twitter at this point, for where it's come. Not that I had a whole lot of respect for Twitter in the first place, but I used to. That was just where I posted because it was easy, it was quick, and that's where a lot of my followers are. So I've said this before. I always had a propensity to neglect the Facebook page, and even though I had my Instagram since the beginning, I didn't post a whole lot to the Instagram. But I'm trying to do that now because I want to have Agent's Legacy feel a lot more personal, because I want it to be more of a representation of myself and not necessarily a product. So that's kind of, I think, where we're going. So, but yeah, so that's gonna do it for me today, guys. As usual, buddy, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.